In the Depth of Love. Chapter 2. Alvarez Mansion. Ricardo got home later in the night and met his wife and son watching TV. Jameson, on seeing him, ran to him happily. "Welcome back, Dad," he said, hugging him. "Thanks, dear. Why haven't you slept yet?" "I am waiting for you, Dad." "Okay, thanks, darling," he said and draw his cheek. "Dad, stop it. I'm a grown-up man now," Jameson said. He ignore him. Then he went to his wife and they both hug each other. "Welcome back, darling. What made you so late?" "I was trying to sort out some things before leaving the office." "Okay, dear. Just don't stress yourself too much. Now go take a shower and come to have you dinner," Loretta, Ricardo's wife, said. "Thanks, darling," he said and went upstairs. Few minutes later he came back downstairs and he went to the dining and they all began eating like a happy family. He looks like an angel in front of his wife and son, but he is a devil in human clothing. He only smile whenever he is with his wife and son. After eating they all went to sleep. The next day, Eagle Eyes Clan. A man could be seen sitting on a chair with a cigarette in his hand and a wine at his front. This was none other than Ricardo. He looks so dangerous and ruthless. In his front was a man kneeling down. "Why did you fail the mission given to you? You know I hate to lose," he said in his cold voice. "I am sorry, master. Give me this last chance and I promise to make you proud," the man said, sobbing, and he urinated in his pant. "There is no second or last chance in my dictionary. Take him to the torture room," he said to one of the guards. "No, please, pardon me for once, I beg you," he said as he was being dragged to the torture room. Ricardo never care about his shout, he only look on coldly. Torture room. The torture room is a very dangerous place in the clan and everyone fear it so much. When you are being taken there, just know you are dead. Not even the most powerful man can survive it. It was full of many dangerous instruments you could ever think of. The man was dragged and he began shaking fearfully as he was being tied to a chair. After 2 minutes Ricardo arrived and fear crept into the man because he know there is no way out for him. Ricardo got into the torture room and took a whip full of thorns, then he began whipping him. The man was screaming painfully but he paid deaf ears. After a while he stopped whipping him and he took out an axe and ordered his guards to lay his hand on a table. The man, on seeing what he is about doing, cried for help. "No, please, master." He knew begging him was fruitless but he still do it. The guards did as they were told and Ricardo used the knife to cut off his fingers one after the other. He did that to his second hand also and the man was screaming in pain and sweating profusely. He did not stop at that. He took a small knife and he dipped it into the man's eye, bringing out his eyeballs, and he did so to the second eye. The man began crying so much in pain, he felt like his body was on fire. It was hell on earth. After doing this he left him in the torture room to groan in pain. He ordered his guards not to let him out for no reason and they nodded. Rodriguez Place. Tiffany woke up happily thinking about yesterday and she could help but smile with the fun she had in Evelyn's place. Her dad also wake up and he took his bath and dressed up for work. Tiffany went to their small kitchen and made breakfast. She was done in no time and she dished it out on the small table they use as their dining. Not long after her dad came down already dressed for work. "Good morning, Dad," she said. "Morning, darling. How was your night?" "Fine, Dad," she said happily. "Dad, I am coming, wait for me, don't eat without me," she said and went upstairs to take her bath, and in few minutes she is done. Then she dressed up and went down to her father. "Now I'm back, we can eat now," she said, and her father chuckled and they began eating. "Dad," she called, then her dad frowned at her. "Have I not told you to stop talking while eating?" "Sorry, Dad," she said sadly. Her dad loved her so much but he never stopped scolding her anytime she did something wrong. After they are done eating she packed the plates to the kitchen. "Now you can tell me whatever you want," he said after she came back from the kitchen. "Dad, I would like to sleep over at Evelyn's place," she said. "No, you are going nowhere, stay at home. Dad, please, just for today. I insist you aren't going, I am late for work," he said and took his bag. "Dad, please," she pleaded. "Okay, fine, you can go, but go early and don't walk during the night." "Thanks, Dad, you are the best," she said, hugging him happily. Then he went to work. As he left, Tiffany was so happy, she put a call through Evelyn quickly. "Phone, hey babe," she said as soon as Evelyn picked up the call. "Phone, crazy girl, what is it?" "Phone, guess what?" "Phone, what is it?" "Phone, I'm coming for a sleepover at your place tonight," she said. "Phone, really, what of your dad?" "Phone, he agreed," she said. "Phone, okay, see you tonight." "Phone, okay babe," she said and cut off the call. Evelyn's parents are not around and they won't be back for 2 weeks. They are always busy with work and barely have time for her. She feels lonely being alone, though she has a nanny, but she is not at work that day because she is ill. Alvarez Company. Mr. Rodriguez got to work and he greeted everyone and went into the changing room and he changed into his uniform and he began working immediately. The staffs checked the time and saw it was late and they began wondering why their boss is not yet at work that day. They shrug off the thought and continue working for them not to be fired. Meanwhile, Ricardo was in the clan smoking heavily with his mouth and nose producing smokes. After a while he stopped smoking and went to wash his face and he changed his dress and then got into his car and drove off to his company. He got into his company and as his staff saw him they became surprised that he came because it was past 12 in the afternoon. He just looked at them coldly and went into his office. He called his secretary, told her not to let anyone into his office. He got to work immediately typing on his laptop. Jameson was alone at home because his mum has gone to work, leaving him all alone at home. He was never allowed to go out. He only got out once in a while and with his father following him. He wished to go out but his father never let him out. He will always tell him not to go out, that the outside is dangerous. That is why he had no friends. He stay at home receiving home teaching when his mates go to school. He is so lonely at home and really frustrated, but he had no choice than to stay home. Since he had been given birth to her, only see the outside world 5 times. Rodriguez place. In the evening, Tiffany take a shower and dress up, then she packed some few things and went to Evelyn's place. Not long after she got there and went in, and Evelyn, on seeing her, ran to hug her happily. Wow, I thought you were joking when you said you will be coming for a sleepover. I'm damn serious, she said and sat on the couch. Then Evelyn went into the kitchen and brought food for her. Then she went to the dining together with Evelyn. They sat down and Tiffany could not help but gasp at the amount of meal at the table. Wow, so much. Who is having a party? She asked. No one. Eat to your fullest. Really? I love this, she said smiling. Foodie, Evelyn said and laughed. They both began eating and Tiffany began rushing her meal. Calm down, babe. Don't choke, Evelyn said to her. This meal is really delicious, she said, taking a deep breath. After some time they finished eating and Tiffany became so full that she could barely walk. Foodie, Evelyn said and stuck out her tongue at her and she laughed. Let me catch you, Tiffany said and Evelyn ran upstairs. They did so many other things, watch movies, play games and so on. Mr. Rodriguez got back home later in the night and he went to make dinner for himself. Then after a while he called Tiffany to ask how her sleepover is and she said it was fine. They talked more for a while before he cut off the call and slept off. Alvarez Mansion. Ricardo got back home and met his wife and son asleep already. Then he went to his room to change and after he came back downstairs to eat. After he was done he went to sleep. The next day, he woke up and got down, then he met his wife in the kitchen and he went to hug her from the back. Good morning, darling, he said. Morning, dear, she replied him and they face each other. Then he placed a kiss in her lips and she also reciprocated. After kissing for a while he broke the kiss and went back upstairs to take his bath and after ate his breakfast and went to work. Loretta also took her bath and then greeted her son, then they both ate breakfast and she bade him goodbye and went to work. During afternoon Jameson was so bored at home but he can't go out because of the guards at the door. Then he remembered the back door and he went through it watching the guards. He got to the gate and saw no guard there and he became happy, and this is because the guard there went to urinate. He unlocked the gate and went out. He breathed in fresh air as he got out and he began walking around the street. The guard came back and met the gate opened and wondered why the gate was opened, but he shrugged it off and closed the gate. Jameson was walking on the road admiring the street when a car suddenly drove towards and he looked at his front and became scared. He wanted to leave but it was late. Then he was hit by the car. To be continued. How was the chapter? I hope you all are loving the story. Please guys, I am really so happy for the reaction on the last chapter, please let it continue that way. Thank you all. Like, comment and share please. Love you all.